J Squad.
We gotta find now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find
Yo, what is going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? Starting out a little bit new, so I've attached my Twitch, so we'll be streaming on both of those. We're going to see how it works out. Just, more coverage on more platforms, more people to talk to. I only got about 20 followers on Twitch. but I might also try and do more. Well, we'll see what I'm going to do. I'm still kind of up in the air on some things. I like doing my slop content. I kind of want to lean into that more because I always kind of like dip my toes in and then I do something else and dip my toes in. And I think I just want to like focus on what I enjoy, which is kind of the slop, if you know what I mean. So hopefully chat is working out. I'm going to be watching it. Twitch is a pain in the ass. Yeah, I agree. We'll see how it, like I said, we'll see how it works. We'll go from there. The one thing I'm going to have a problem with is the fact that Twitch doesn't like when you put other chats up on screen, but that's like kind of the whole point of me having it up so that people can see and hear what I'm, saying, what I'm talking about. But we'll see how it goes. I had someone talking on me last time I was at Twitch and Damage came over for a little while, but today we're going to be talking about SmashJT. There's some things I wish I could have found in time. I've seen a lot of talk about SmashJT, and of course you helped me out, Collective, also known as Scary Jersey, and kind of showing like there's a lot of people are like, who is this old Smash JT that people are saying, he was such a nice guy back then. And the truth is he really wasn't. Like, we start to look at the Amico scam. Is that what it is? Amico? Tommy old Tommy Torelli. I'm not saying his last name wrong. I know I'm not. And all of those, and you really see like how he doesn't ever take accountability. He doesn't ever admit that he's wrong, even when everything came out about Tommy and everything that was going on with that scam. And yeah, I don't know that he did. I don't think he did any jail time for it, but Smash just still wouldn't let go on calling the retro guys, Ian Ferguson and a few others, like horrible people. And he tried to use other methods to, like, he was trying to use a GoFundMe, was it? to say that the Ian guy was doing the same thing. So we're going to get into that. There was something I wanted to watch I didn't get to watch last week, so we're going to watch a little 14-minute video here. I may play some Arc Raiders while I talk. Probably not a good idea. Maybe I'll just do free loadouts and gather gear. But we're going to see what's going on here. Oh, my window capture is not set. He acts exactly like Tommy Tellerico. That's what it is now. Says horrible things, and when people clap back, he plays victim. 100%. He's such a victim when it comes to anything that's going on with him. And it's funny to hear that you pointed out that he's already been doxxed long before. So his victimhood that he always likes to throw out about Alyssa is just that. It's victimhood. He's already been doxxed. I mean, you can definitely, like, the thing where she messaged his wife, completely unhinged, right? So no problem with calling it that. Definitely something you shouldn't do. Definitely out there. But in comparison to some of the other things that we've seen Smash do and things Smash talks about, I mean, he's calling the kettle black in the most of it. Where is that? There. Oh, nope, not filters. Sorry, I was trying to work with not filters again. A new multi-stream. I didn't get it up and running though, so we're just running off of the old stuff. Let's make sure that's off for now so I don't accidentally dox myself. Nope, not that one. Here we go. It was open anyway. What the fuck? Oh, I guess that makes sense. So, if you don't know who Gay Viper is, messaging the wife is definitely not something I do. Can't cross that line. Yeah, I've actually had people that have like posted her dead. No, damaged. I didn't get a chance to. I was trying to set it up, but I may need your help in setting it up if you know how, because it wasn't working. So we'll see on if I keep them separate. What I may do is multi-stream to both of them, and then delete the YouTube stream and just keep my VODs on Twitch, just because I want as little, like, I wanted to try and stay, like, I'm trying to focus. I think I'm just going to focus on my commentary stuff and play games when I can, like maybe one day a week playing games, something like that I want to do. But yeah, you've got lines you can't cross. I've actually had people like send me like posts of his wife's dead X account she doesn't get on, and I've been like, just delete that. We don't need to bring his wife into it. It's easy enough to mock him. I don't have to mock her for being stuck with him. So we're gonna watch this. So this is this is the real Mark Fox. I saw him on X crashing out about Colin Moriarty. So he's got this video, Colin Moriarty, a lying fraud, gaming bullshit. So I wanted to see what information he had, and if it was actually any good information that may change my mind about Colin. Boop. There we go. There we go. Boom.
Hey everybody, it's Fox with...
I also think I'm going to get back to gaming while I stream, just because I enjoy doing that. Oof, we got to change this. Hey, what's going on? Ready? Oh, over on Twitch, huh? Yeah, he chimed in on it. He was like crashing out like this guy is like a rapist or something. It was really odd to me, like how much he seems to hate this guy. I don't know if they work together on anything or anything like that. I mean, I don't know much about this Mark guy. He's been a little talkative on like back and forth with me, but I think he recently blocked me for like the mildest comments.
With Real Mark Fox, and we're back here again, having to discuss another large personality in the gaming space who's spreading myths and lies, maligning gamers, and in particular, attacking male gamers with the standard woke talking points. But this time, it's a man who pretends to be a conservative, a man who claims to be a conservative.
So this is the thing where they were trying to say like he's not conservative because because Alyssa Mercante talks to him. That's what this is going to go into. I already know it. So let's see if he can bring up more on why he's not a conservative.
While parroting, almost word for word, the exact talking points of the leftists, of the woke.
Of the leftists, of the woke. This is the thing they say, like the same talking points. It can't possibly be that the rest of the gaming market is tired of this fucking bullshit, that the anti-woke has gone over the line of what most people in the original Gamergate were initially thinking, at least the normies. It's always got to be you're left. That's all you are, is left.
Colin Moriarty, or as I'm going to start calling him, Colin Wokiarty.
Wow, that was pretty gay.
Oh yeah, baby!
So it was with Ghost of Yote that I really began to realize how far Colin had gone into the woke space. In fact, he's so far gone as a wokey that he even does the standard woke tactic of denying that woke even exists. Oh, what is woke?
Is he going to show this?
I don't know what woke is. Woke.
Well, here's the thing. Woke, it tends to be whatever anyone wants it to be. And that's always the problem that people have. You can ask one person what woke means to them and how they feel about it, but there's no definitive, this is what woke is, this is how it goes. But I'm sure Mark's going to have his own definition.
Woke doesn't exist.
Woke is a buzzword, yes.
Of your imagination, my friends.
Hey, quote unquote woke. Hey, quote unquote woke. Hey, quote unquote.
Because he said quote unquote woke. Okay, this is starting out good. I like the evidence he's going with.
just because you see the effects of woke in nearly all media nowadays, just because you see it in movies.
So this comes down to a subject that I've been talking about constantly, and that is pattern recognition. These guys are so dead in the water on pattern recognition that they see blue hair and immediately think woke. They see woman and immediately think woke. They see black person and immediately think woke. So what's going on? Gazenhauer, Grizzle, how you doing? Hey, yo, good to see you in chat. And what it really comes down to is they have pattern recognition. The idea of pattern recognition is you buy a car and suddenly you see the car all over the place. So you think more people have bought that car, but you know that's not true. It's just because you started noticing this type of car. It doesn't suddenly change the data, the facts, or anything else about it. Can you point to some things being woke? If you want to go in like terms of some things being woke, if you want to call anything LGBTQ woke, LGBT woke, then yeah, okay, you're going to say things are woke. But is there anything wrong with a community making their own games and things like that? There was a problem when I think they were actively trying to change franchises in ways that didn't seem to make sense to it. Like Veilguard, I'm sorry, is the best example. But when it's like Dustborn, they went all over. Okay, why? This is them making their game, which I think Dustborn did pretty good considering nobody knew what it was going to be before the anti-wokes came in. So let's keep going.
And TV shows and video games and comics and Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering, just because you see it with your eyes and hear it with your ears, just because there are literal documents laying out how games.
Do you notice how he's saying all this stuff, but he's not putting anything on screen, right? He's not giving evidence of what is actually woke. They don't even bring up Dustborn as much anymore either. It's because no one gave a shit. No one gives a shit. The only reason Smash brought it up those last few times is because his views were going down. Now that the collective shout stuff came up and it gave them a boost, they don't feel the need to do that because they're seeing their numbers going up, but they're also not thinking about the future. Can they keep up with that, this level of rage bait and this level of woke versus anti-woke? Because it's pretty hard to come by nowadays, especially when they're going after titles that are clearly popular.
Studios should implement woke.
Yeah, if you're going to do this, I agree, Grizzle. If you're going to make a video about this, and yeah, I agree, no one really cared about Dustborn. It wasn't AAA, but they seemed to add it to every AAA list they had. So, they're using you. If you're going to make a video like this, you should be not just showing gameplay. You should be popping pictures and evidence up on the screen for people to read. But he's not doing that. Yeah, you don't want to detract from the exciting gameplay footage.
Policies disguised as diversity, equity, and inclusion, bridge, DEI, or any other phrase that they like to use. They often use euphemisms because these acronyms or words take on negative connotations, and rightly so, because they are bad things. Just because there's actual...
What makes them bad things? I'm hoping you're going to go into more detail about this.
Literal proof written down in the policies of some of these companies. No.
Are you going to bring that up? Put it on screen, maybe?
No. That doesn't mean woke exists. It's not real. And as Colin Moriarty said.
So here's the thing. He's focusing really hard on this idea that Colin said woke isn't real. Just because he puts in quotation marks, quote unquote, woke, it's more of a... it's like a dig at you calling something woke. Is this indie? No, this is real Mark Fox, who around this Colin Moriarty stuff, he really started crashing out about this guy saying he was a conservative. He in no way is saying it's like you're making this up. He in no way is saying that woke isn't a real thing that people are coming up with. He's saying the terms that y'all are using are the things that y'all are going for it. Everything can be woke. if you say it the right way or if your group believes it is. Pattern recognition can make anything woke.
In his conversation with SmashJT, quote unquote woke.
Quote unquote woke.
Because just like the woke, he wants to deny that it even exists. Because, as always, wokies don't want to admit that they're woke most of the time. A few will.
And this is cope. This is where someone is trying to say anyone who says that they're not woke is clearly woke, but they're just not wanting to admit it. Come on, bud. This is just, it's dumb. It's lowbrow. You haven't actually said anything so far in the first, 2 minutes? You're going over him saying quote unquote woke. This is only a 14-minute video, bud. There's lots of room for you to show evidence of this, of why he's not a conservative.
But generally speaking,
yeah, it's got real notice me, Jeff industry.
Behind the scenes, undercover, in the darkness.
Oh,
when you start
AI fucking art.
On what it is they're doing, that's when they run and hide. That's when they change.
So this is just a copy paste of woke talking points. They don't want to be out in the open when there's tons of people on X that talk down these guys. There's tons of people that make videos talking down these guys. It's all being done in the background. When they go after some dev who's speaking in public on either Blue Sky or hey, what's going on, Red Stain? When they're speaking publicly about some anti-woker who has said something publicly, it's suddenly behind the scenes. Like where is this behind the scenes proof when everyone can seem to find it, right?
Change the terminology and start using euphemisms.
It has been a crazy month.
That's when they deny and deny and deny. And one of the common tactics is if you use the word woke, they'll say something to the effect of, "What is woke?" And that's like a fish approaching.
Okay, so your evidence right now is a shitter who got 58 views asking you what woke means. And look at his response, right? They won't interact. I just had some dude block me, a little shitter block me, who's been coming back and forth with me a couple of times trying to talk big. And I broke down his arguments, but he never wants to engage with the things that I said. He wants to say cope phrases like, you're just denying the truth. And I was like, no, I'm questioning what you're calling evidence. He doesn't even know what he's complaining about. Yeah, it's only 7 days through. But like, what does what mean? Like, okay, woke, what? You have to be really unintelligent to, one, say what does what mean, and two, post this to your fucking video making you look like a dumbass. If you can't answer the word of what woke means, if you can't break it down for that person in some ways, and it doesn't always have to be like, you don't have to go line for line like this is everything that woke is, but you should be able to state some kind of statement. But he doesn't do that. He denies, as he likes to say, and he skirts around the subject. This is a common tactic of the anti-woke. They don't want to talk about the hard facts. They don't want to talk about what they believe in. They just want to say they're very what is the word for it? Very general statements about woke and get their claps. None of these dudes will engage with anybody on any real level, right? Then they pivot to IRL politics for a month in September. Oh yeah, I see what y'all are talking about. But this makes you look bad, Mark.
Another fish, and someone says, "Oh, the water is really nice here, isn't it?" And the other fish says, "What is water?" It's an absolute absurd.
So woke is also not a thing that the normal people understand. It's a buzzword that they came up with. In fact, I think it originally was brought up by the wokies, as you would say, and then it got circumvented and used because it was originally SJWs. It changed over to woke. Call me crazy, but isn't what the anti-woke doing the equivalent to identity politics of the right? Yeah. It was a word in the African American community. Okay, I didn't know that. I know it got picked up and started to be used, and then it became what it is today. But he wants to pretend that, like, I know what woke is, don't you? Well, tell me, bud. Tell me what woke is. Normies do not give a shit. They've heard the meaning of woke, but they don't know what that really means.
That's like a fish approaching another fish. In some months,
and notice how he's using analogies and things like that. Wasn't he just talking about a similar thing that they do? Euphemisms, analogies, all of that.
Says,
Come on, man.
Water is really nice here, isn't it? And the other fish says, what is water? It's an absolute absurdity to ask someone, what is woke? As if the two of you don't both know. We all know exactly what woke is. We are literally surrounded by it in just about every possible way. You can see it on billboards when you're driving. You see it.
Okay, evidence. Show me what you're doing. Otherwise, you're just yapping with gameplay in front.
At work, in the equity and inclusion courses you have to take.
Yeah, surrounded by it.
You can see it in academia, universities.
There's just trans and dicks everywhere, and I don't know what to do. 11 months with Trump so far.
You see it in non-governmental organizations. It's in statements made by corporations. It's on nearly every medium to large size company's website.
And this is how you know that this is bullshit, because and I'm kind of, pause-ending him, but it's everything. Everything is woke. So then nothing is woke. Like, what a life that you live, that every time you see a gay person or something that looks like it has colors in it, you suddenly think woke, and you're so surrounded by woke, and everyone's trying to trans your kids, when that's not the experience for the vast majority of Americans.
Laid out in specific terms. It's in movies that you watch. It's in TV shows. It's in video games.
Examples, please.
It's in Dungeons
and
Dragons.
Schizophrenia.
It's now in comic books. It's in Magic the Gathering.
Has this guy even played Dungeons and Dragons? Here we go with the woke. It really just comes down to, like, every day that I read more of these anti-woke statements, I realize how just absolutely low IQ and dumb they are, because their arguments do boil down to gay person in game. Make me mad.
Gathering. It's in Warhammer 40K. Just
where the one thing I can think of is the female custodes, and I don't care personally. I cringed a little bit at it, but then I remember watching a clip of the show that had the first female custodes in there. And that was last year even. Yeah, it was. But people are still bitching about it in that community. They'll always, that's the one thing that they hang on to. Like Dustborn, that's the one thing that they hang on to. But I remember bringing it to my buddy and showing him the clip. And I was like, hey, what do you think of this? And we're talking about, this is my MAGA friend, hardcore Emperor Trump type guy. I don't know how he is now with this new election and things going on. I haven't talked to him in a while. But back then, he was still hardcore Trump supporter, all the way down the line. And I showed him the female custodes, and he was like, yeah, that's how I would expect a transhuman roided out female to look. And that was his only comment.
Just about everywhere you look nowadays, you see the effects of woke, and these people still deny that it even exists. You can't even launch up Netflix or Amazon without seeing woke being shoved in your face.
What a fucking life. Like, I don't see this. Like, can you explain to me where this is? Can you show me examples? Because I turn on my video games and I play them and enjoy them. I'm trying to actually finish Baldur's Gate 3 in the background. I've been playing the shit out of Ark Raiders, and it's so, like, I'm having so much fun with it. Even watching Indy flip out about type A, type B, or whatever it is he say. You can put boobs on a guy's face or whatever he said. He's so triggered. Yeah, absolutely. I go to the TV show section on Amazon. But yeah, I don't see this much. My kids watch TV. We're not seeing a bunch of woke. Literally a show about David and Goliath on your Amazon screen. Yeah, it's performative bullshit. It's feelings is what it is. It's not evidence because he's not showing any. It's feelings. And if he were to even show us a picture, it would be a picture of like some gay person or something like that. And I was like, so what is the problem with that when there is other shows that you can watch that don't have that in it? Like you're purposely looking at that and making yourself mad, like a little baby girl, like a little SJW of the past getting mad that gamers liked big boobs or whatever, feminist shit that you saw back then. Oh damn, Streamlabs is asking you to like and subscribe. That's very nice of them, considering I'm at 103 current subscribers on YouTube. I have my Twitch opened up again, so if you want to go give me a follow over there, do it too. And if you haven't liked the stream, like the stream. It really helps me out. Hit that bell, because we are going to be digging back into this. I think I'm going to be doing more of my commentary and playing games while I watch.
Your favorite TV shows, movies, and video games are getting sequels, or they're being changed to replace male white characters with non-white female characters. You're suddenly noticing
there were white female characters too. Maybe he's saying Teen Wolf.
this huge spike in the number of not heterosexual characters that appear in these shows.
Be careful saying heterosexual. Smash doesn't know what heterosexual means.
Suddenly seeing a lot of the LGBTQIAP++ propaganda show up when you watch your favorite video game TV series, and it's talking about how two women are going to have a baby, and one of the women is a father. They're making chicks in video games look.
So he's talking clearly about The Last of Us 2, the show in the comment. Maybe he should go watch what Smash's view on The Last of Us is. His original view.
Buff like men, basically giving them men's bodies and then putting a sort of female head on top of it. And yet here's
Netflix came out with a Splinter Cell show, right? Where Sam has an African-American woman as his partner. No drama at all. Not a word. Remember how Jeff was screaming about The Last of Us 2, saying it was a masterpiece? 10 out of 10. If you don't like the storyline of Ellie, you can it's not the game for you. Is that his words? We may pull that up here later.
Colin Wokiardi claiming, quote,
you notice we're a third of the way through the video, and he's just now bringing Colin back up. And what he said here is a lot of feelings and trust me, bros. And I get triggered by the simplest things, but not a lot of actual evidence. Yeah, let's pull it up. You know what? You're right. We're going to pull it up. I got to find it again, though. I got to find it again, because it was way down on my timeline. I was making people mad, I'll say. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. All the way down. Corpos. He's big mad. Nope, that's not it. That's Gay Viper. Don't worry, I'll find it in just a second. If someone wants to link it to me or like send it to me on X, I'll pull it up. I'm going to keep listening to the video while I search, though.
Unquote woke, as if woke doesn't exist. And what did he do while talking to SmashJT? That's right, he repeats one of the most common refrains we hear from the far left radical wokies. Man, you know, this Colin guy, he says he's conservative, but he sure does talk a whole lot like he's a lefty. He sure does talk.
Who says that? Can we get some evidence of people saying that?
Like he's a wokey. He says some of the exact same things they say. What did he say here? Oh, well, us guys don't like Ghost of Yotei, and you know why we don't like it?
My theory about this is that you guys don't like the game because it has a female protagonist.
Okay. Why is that a woke statement? That's what it feels like. Because there's no other situations that they can claim in that game were woke. There's two things that they've claimed. One is that the female protagonist is woke because of the actress who played her and because she took over for Jen. The other one is that she has a lesbian, becomes a lesbian at the end. This is not, that's the 2 points for that game. That's all y'all talk about. Grum's tried going on about the mini games that were already in the first game, like the dumbass he is. But you're not like, that's the talking points of Yotei. That's your 2 talking points. And that's it.
It's because it has a female protagonist. That's right. Colin is spreading the misandrist, the man-hating, anti-male, anti-gamer.
Wow, buzzwords. How many buzzwords can you use in one fucking sentence? No, we can think that you're fucking retarded, brain dead, bottom feeding basement dwellers who just saw a woman take over their male character and get fucking pissed off about it. Yeah, that you can make that take without thinking that it's misandry or anything like that. Well, yeah, Andy Pants is quite literally like that, but Andy Pants is a 100% true grifter.
Male gamers don't like women. We hates the women's, guys, and Colin is here to tell us that. But
funny thing about him saying that statement, we hates the women's, that's not what he said. He said, y'all are mad that this character is a female protagonist. That doesn't say you hate women. That's you getting triggered in your feelings about him mentioning what you have been saying about it and coming up with some idea that you hate all women. Now, we can get into an argument about the basic Asian female type A that gets so much love out of all of the anti-wokers, but you're putting words in his mouth.
But he didn't stop there, because they talked about Tales of Kenzera Zhao. If you remember that game, it didn't do terribly well, but there was some drama surrounding the game, and it was obvious there were influences from very woke people. I never played the...
Yes, you're absolutely right, Collective. His big push, Smash's big push, was they should have stuck with Jen. And that doesn't seem to be the consensus of anyone else. They self-own every time instead of explaining themselves. Yeah, right. Well, it's because they can't explain themselves. What argument are they going to make against him saying that they are mad that it was the female protagonist changed? Yeah, it was. That's what they're mad at.
The game, it looked decent enough. I heard it got kind of mediocre reviews, and I'm sure if you like that style of game, it would be all right, but nothing terribly special from what I've seen. But why is it that us gamers didn't like that game, according to Colin? Well, my friends, Colin Wokiarty has figured us out.
Well, it's hard to say if you actually like the game because none of y'all played it. Oh God, here we go. I paused Andy. We got to hold on.
Didn't you call it Tales of Kenzera Zhao woke because it had black people in it? Didn't you call it Tales of Kenzera?
Yes, he did. In fact, they made jokes about the main guy and the actor who made the game, about him not actually being from Kenya when he was a second, generation immigrant from there. The spear joke. Yeah. So that's exactly what they were saying. Hey, what's going on, Simon? Oh, we haven't even gotten into the Smash stuff yet. We're making fun of Real Mark and his incredibly soy and fucking soy and triggered video about Mark.
Is Zhao woke because there are black people in it?
We didn't like the game because there's black people in it. That's...
What did y'all say about the game? What was actually said? Real Mark Fox is a guy I've seen on Twitter. He started crashing out about fucking the Moriarty stuff, and Moriarty saying he was a conservative.
That's right. He not only attacked us, calling us misogynists for hating.
He didn't say you were misogynists. You said you're misogynist. You're projecting what words you think he's saying to you. He did not call you a misogynist.
Women and not wanting women in video games, even though we play countless games with female protagonists. Many of us men even choose.
Again, the comment was, let's go back and listen, actually. The comment was, word for word, because I don't want to say it wrong.
We hates the women's got the here. Oh,
Theory about this is that you guys don't like the game because it has a female protagonist.
See what I'm saying?
it has a female protagonist. That's right. Colin is spreading the misandrist, the man-hating, anti-male, anti-gamer rhetoric propaganda.
Yeah. He's not saying, like, and you see how many buzzwords he uses right after that? He is not saying that it is because you don't like playing with women. He said it's because it's a female protagonist. That, again, that is the story that y'all ran with the entire time.
That us male gamers of Kanzera surrounding the game, and it was obvious that it's decent enough. I'd be all right, but nothing like that game, according to Colin. Well, my friends, Colin Wokiarty has figured us out.
Didn't you call Tales of Kanzera Zao woke because it had black people in it? Didn't you call Tales of Kanzera Zao woke?
This is, too, some of the worst clip chimping I've seen. And on top of it, what makes it bad clip chimping is it doesn't say what Mark is saying. Like, it's so off. You can listen to it and be like, okay, that's not what he said, right after Mark makes his comment.
Is there black people in it?
We didn't like the game because there's black people in it. That's right. He not only attacked us, calling us misogynists for hating women and not wanting women in video games, even though we play.
Again, you also hear this us thing that he's talking about. He's specifically talking to Smash.
Countless games with female protagonists. Many of us men even choose to create a female protagonist when given the option, but we also apparently don't want to play games with non-white characters. In this case, he used, of course, black, because that's kind of the hot button race that the wokies like to use to attack us in malign.
You hear this victimhood? Use it to attack us. They're being attacked. This is so soy. This is so victim mentality. This entire video is feelings based.
Malign us as racists and bigots. They malign us as sexist for not wanting women in our video games, even though that's literally never been the case. Now,
well, okay, but here's the thing, right? The women that y'all always tout wanting in games are of a very specific variety. How dare they attack us for making spear chucker jokes? Yeah, I agree. We're not racist. We just want our white male protagonists back. Yeah. Or Asian woman type A, right? It's, if you wouldn't completely downplay every woman in gaming that's not the super over sexualized, right? And I think there's a place for that in gaming. I don't care about Gooner games, and I don't care about sexualized women in gaming. But when you attack everything other than that, yeah, it looks like you don't like women in gaming. You only want to see one type of woman.
now, while there are some men out there that prefer
Like, when did good writing die off anyway? Yeah.
to play as a male, there are plenty of women out there that
That is a good point. It used to be, we don't care if you put them in there, we want good stories. And even now, it's not used. They don't even use that anymore.
prefer to play as a female. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a male gamer wanting to play as a male. Just like all these women in
Yeah, again, not what he said.
the woke space complain about all the games that make them play as a man, well, why shouldn't a male gamer be able to equally complain if they're being forced to play as a female? You know, tit for tat. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
But see, it's not that simple. That's not their argument. Their argument isn't it should have a male and female protagonist that we can choose from. Their argument is this specific woman protagonist is woke. And they shifted away from just her being, a female protagonist and ugly to the statements that the actor said. So they shifted the goalpost even further away from it being a female protagonist in gaming to, well, I don't want to play it because of the politics of the actor. Like, dude, you'd be not watching so many movies. Yeah.
It's not fair to allow.
This is why I hate this grift, because it's not about just having a good game with good story. Yeah, it's not. I mean, that used to be the argument, right? That used to be the argument, was make your own games, and if it's good, people will want to play it. But they've done that. Like Ghosts of Yotai is what the devs made. That's their game that they made, but that's not good enough because female protagonist and the politics of somebody who had already done all of her lines for the game before all that Charlie Kirk stuff happened.
Allow women to make the complaint, and then when men make the same complaint in reverse, suddenly they're sexist and bigots and they're horrible for daring to say what is essentially the equivalent of what the women were saying. And by women, I mean a select group of extremist, radical propagandists, the wokies. And then Colin Wokiarty, in some of his tweets on X, was responding to someone and said that he doesn't see why people would consider anything about Ghost of Yotai to be woke. And when SmashJT showed him the picture of the actress for the protagonist.
See, this is what they did. Oh, it's the actress. It doesn't matter, that nothing in the game said that she was woke. Hold on. Let me not do it.
Proudly proclaiming that she and her wife are Antifa, a violent terrorist group.
So it wasn't a violent terrorist group at the time, but okay.
He didn't seem to care. Didn't faze him. He said, well, I can kind of get how you might feel that way, something to that effect.
This was the turning point for me. When I saw...
So tell me, Mark, tell me right now, what lines did she say in Ghosts of Yotai that were woke? Because I don't give a shit about people's politics when it comes to the game itself. I don't give a fuck if you are a fucking breakout goose fucking stepping Nazi. If your game is good and you're not killing people actively, we'll say, I don't give a fuck. If the game is good, I'll say what the game is good. If the game is Nazi propaganda, then yeah, I'll say it's Nazi propaganda. If the game is woke propaganda, I'll say it's woke propaganda. But this is where they have to stick, because they have been trying to find a hole in Ghosts of Yotai. The Ghost of Yotai has been their next target. It has that setup. It's got a female protagonist. We can work on that. We can work on that, right? We can move our way in there and find something. We just have to find it yet. And the only way they found to do it, because they've been talking about this chick forever, and this picture wasn't being posted all around. It was after the Charlie Kirk situation came out, and there were devs that made jokes, which it's clearly a joke, whether you think it's tasteless or not. I'm sorry. I laughed at George Floyd jokes. I laughed at other jokes that have happened all over there with politicians and everything else. So you just don't like the jokes that they told, right? Yeah, she had no from the look of it, nothing in the game was her politics or anything else like that. But because she has politics, we're not buying this game.
This, I'm like, yep.
That's how lowbrow it's gotten with them. Because people have politics, we're not buying a game.
I'm out. That's me personally. This
is exactly, again, what the wokes, the SJWs, the left pushed. Put freedom of dark humor. I love it, Red Stain. This is the exact thing that they pushed. Like, you shouldn't look at this person's work because they're a racist. You shouldn't enjoy this movie because it's racist. You shouldn't do this because it's misogynistic. That's the exact same argument he's giving to me right now, just on the other side.
This was the turning point for me. When I saw this, I'm like, yep, I'm out. That's me personally. And I think...
What is this? Shifts his body around. Did the photo make him uncomfortable? Or he was sitting uncomfortable? Are you really doing fucking armchair psychology and fucking... Come on.
But you'll notice that he doesn't like the term woke, just like the woke don't. You'll notice that he maligns gamers as hating women, just like the woke do. You'll
Again, none of those things he has done
notice that he maligns
in any of the evidence you've shown me here on this.
gamers for being...
But I guarantee if I had a conversation with him on X right now about it, he would not engage. He would block me. I know that because he's already done it.
being racist, just like the woke do. And you'll notice he's defending the same games.
Yeah, it's stupid and annoying.
defending. Wow, Colin.
Here's the thing. Anyone that defends Ghosts of Yotai is woke. You hear how vague that is? He's on the same side as the people that are woke defending the game.
It's almost like you're a wokey in disguise, masquerading yourself as a conservative. Well, we are as we do, not as we claim to be. If I tell you that I'm a big gym nerd, I'm a gym rat, I'm always working out at the gym, but I never go to the gym, am I really a gym rat? I mean, no, obviously not.
That's such a terrible analogy. Yeah, because you're physically not going to the gym. I'm sorry that his words strike and trigger something inside of you that makes you think he's woke, but you are completely reading it from a absolute dumbass fucking woke perspective. You only look at the world, as you've shown in the beginning of this video, you only look at the world through the lenses of everything is woke. So yeah, that's the way you're going to see him. If a guy says he's a gym rat and he weighs 100 pounds, well, obviously he doesn't go to the gym. That's physical things you can tell about. It's not the same thing as you thinking his words are woke. You're not a gym rat. You're a Southern alcoholic. Hey now, you're getting a little close to home.
If I never go to the gym, it doesn't matter how much I claim to go, I'm not actually going. It doesn't matter how much Colin Wokiarty claims to be a conservative.
Dude, I'm a conservative in the video game industry.
Hey,
Quote
you
unquote
say
woke.
you.
My theory about this is
Yes, I hate to tell you, but there's a lot of fucking people that are turning away from you that are conservatives. There's a lot of conservatives, especially you're talking about more moderate conservatives that are turning away from the conservative party. That's just the way it is. Things have gotten way too radical on that side, just like it did on the other side with the progressives. That, yeah, you have a lot of people turning against you. Conservatives and gamers are tired of hearing the same argument over and over and over again, especially when they go after games people like. Gamers don't play around with that. We never have.
is that you guys don't like the game because it has a female protagonist. Didn't you call it Tales of Kenzera Zhao woke because it had black people in it?
His behavior.
So notice he's only got 3 clips, right? He's got the, didn't you call that black? He's got the where he says woke, and one other clip that he showed. So where's all this evidence that he's not a conservative?
And his words, his actions show he's not. He's another one of the phonies in our midst. And one of the biggest problems that the right has, one of the biggest problems that conservatives have, is that there are a lot of phony.
You're not my kind of conservative. You're not what I believe conservatism is. Yeah, bud, because you're so far over the hedge that you can't actually see what the people around you are thinking or what's, you know, actually happening in the real world. You just scream woke all day, like the little boy crying wolf.
Among us trying to push us leftward to make us think that no, it's conservative to be leftist. It's totally conservative to be woke. There's nothing wrong with a conservative just being more like a leftist.
Have you noticed how he has shown no evidence in this video so far of the woke that he's claiming, right?
At least according to how Colin Wokiarty is talking. I gotta say, I'm absolutely disgusted, truly, deeply disgusted by Colin Moriarty's behavior during that live stream.
Wow, I'm sorry you're a fucking crybaby who can't handle a little bit of fucking hard words thrown at you. Smash came at him. He took on the, you know, he challenged Smash, and I'll give Smash got the balls to get on stream with him, but then you can't go toe to toe, so you want to cry that he was too mean on stream to you? Get fucked, you pathetic crybaby loser. Fucking soy behavior.
Now, I don't care who people think won or lost the debate. That is a subjective opinion. There was no...
Oh, we don't want to talk about that, huh? Yeah, it is a subjective opinion, but I guarantee you that Smash didn't have it go the way he wanted it to.
Judge, there is no objective standard by which to determine who wins or loses, and nothing is either won or lost. They both gain by getting their name out there. SmashJT got more views for his video, which is fine. Colin Moriarty may have gotten more views from people that didn't know he existed, might check out
Jesus Christ, this game just looks fucking boring.
This channel. Basically, anytime people have a beef, they get more views, generally speaking.
So it's all about beef, guys. It's okay. It's okay that Smash looked like an absolute fucking moron on that. It's okay that Smash only talked about how he felt that this data wasn't real or felt that the industry was hiding things. That doesn't matter, guys. It's okay.
Problem I have is Colin pretending to be one of us, pretending not to be woke, pretending to be a conservative.
You have no idea what a conservative is anymore. You have no idea what the average American really wants. You have no idea what woke even is to you. You just find whatever you can and fucking call it woke. And of course, when you have statements like you've made where if I say woke, or I say you're mad that they chose a female protagonist, you're going to throw all of these words at me just like the wokies did back in the day. You're going to, instead of calling me racist, you're going to call me misandrist. Instead of, you might actually call me racist. You're going to call me a grifter because I don't believe in what you want to believe in. You're going to call me woke. You're going to call me whatever you want to call me. And it's because you don't actually want to engage with any of the arguments. This whole video shows that, where you have just one for one not shown any evidence of the thing. Like, it would be so simple. I could make a video like this with gaming in the background and then pop up a clip of some anti-woke website or some gay person on a pride flag. Like, even Andy Pants does it, right? But you didn't. You just talked about your feelings. Oh, and if you don't know what woke is, then you haven't been paying attention.
Conservative.
Yeah, he's just a Smash shill.
That's disgusting and abhorrent behavior. He just needs to be what he is. So Colin, if you're actually watching this video, which I doubt you are, but
he's not.
I have this to say to you. You need to do some serious soul searching if you legit believe you're a conservative. Because I can tell you right now, it's easy for us to see you're not. It's very easy to tell.
It's very easy.
You're one.
It's very easy for me to call you something else. Yeah, it is, because anybody can say fucking words. I could say you're a black woman, and, you know, you're not. I mean, obviously you're not, but I could call you one because words exist. It doesn't make it true. It doesn't make your statement any more true, and definitely not after the 3 clips you've shown in a 14-minute video. It seems like you just pandered this out to make time on YouTube.
One of the woke, you're one of the leftists. That's what you are based on what you do and what you.
Well, I can tell you this too. When they say you're one of the leftists, yes, if you're on the farther right you are, everybody else is on the left. That's just how it works. It's the same thing that happened with the lefts. You got the more extreme progressive lefts calling everyone who is liberal and left right wing. I mean, we're talking about, Joe Rogan, when he first started out, was very liberal in his views and things like that. And what happened? He was called woke. He was called, racist, right wing, all of these different things. Same thing with several of the other comedians who were more liberal and stuff like that. You're just, if you are all the way to the right, everyone else is left. So your statement means nothing. Right? You're not looking at it from the middle. If you're on the left saying that everyone's right wing, guess what? You're too far on the left. All right, so that was as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Let's get into SmashJT. Did anyone? Let me see if I can find that video. What's the issue? Pull the levers. Where is it? I can't even find my own fucking tweets. And no, I'm not searching fucking damaged if you're in there. Oh, here we go. All right. So, videos in my DMs. Thank you. What would I do without you and damaged and everybody else who send me stuff? Find I think I found it too anyway. Hold on.
Because I bought that game. People were saying,
all right, here we go. Let's get my boy up on screen here. Oh, Smashy Smash. Let's hear of his review of The Last of Us 2.
People were saying that they didn't like how you had to play as Abby for part of the game, that it brought back the memories of Metal Gear Solid 2 and Raiden. No, I didn't get that at all. And I am one of those people that could not stand Metal Gear Solid 2 because it was basically all Raiden after the...
Yeah, I completely skipped that game.
With Solid Snake. I hate it because I bought that game, I bought Metal Gear Solid 2 to play as Solid Snake because that's kind of what Metal Gear Solid is to me. Where The Last of Us is more of an adventure to experience all of these lives. People are mad that Joel got killed off. It's like, let's just go with the flow of the storyline. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah, okay, it might have done that.
Go back and play Metal Gear Solid 2 with this new...
I can say with it, what Smash said there, I was kind of on the same boat at that time. I wanted to play more Solid Snake, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, it's not any more weird than the rest of the Metal Gear series. But it wasn't what I was looking for at the time. But I was younger.
Approach that I have to gaming of just enjoying the storyline and taking it in. I feel like I've matured as a gamer, where back in the day...
Matured as a gamer, that's what I love to hear, Smash.
The original Metal Gear Solid 2 pissed me off because I was playing as somebody other than Solid Snake. Or Halo ODST pissed me off because I wasn't playing as Master Chief. And this game is...
Yeah, true.
Because they don't get to play as Joel. Or they don't get to play as Ellie the whole time. Or whatever it is. I feel like people need to remove all their predispositions and biases going into these games and grow up. Enjoy the experience for what it is being presented to you as the...
Oh man, just guys, just enjoy the game. Try it out if you want to try it out. If it doesn't look like your cup of tea, move on, right? We can talk about game mechanics. We can talk about live service bullshit and things like that, but you don't have to worry about this woke hating on the character of Ellie. You just need to just enjoy the game and you know,
because once you do that, once you let go of all of those stresses, all those things that you just like, oh my god, this is how I want the game to be, it should be like this. Once you let go of that and just enjoy it. Let the
What an amazing statement by SmashJT. Like just once you put all of that pattern recognition aside, Mark needs to watch this. Like once you put all that pattern recognition aside and just play the game, you get a completely different view of it. It's sad to see how most of the anti-woke had passion and not copy paste talking points. Yeah, it is really sad to see.
the game come to you and just play for what it is.
We're going to go a little bit more into
You're
Smash.
a little bit surprised with how much you enjoy what these games have to offer. And not just the storyline. Like, yes, I'm
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Savvy was a lib 2 years ago. SmashJT has made he went shirts off for female gamers. He did this video talking about the Last of Us 2. Now, I see a lot of people talking about how nice this Smash was and this is the Smash they want and things like that. But there's a problem with that, right? BLM in the hot tub. I have never seen the BLM hot tub stream, and I can't find it anywhere. If anyone can find me a copy of the BLM hot tub stream, I will watch it. He deleted it. Yeah, and I don't think anyone archived it. It sucks. He got called out for it. I'm surprised if he's gonna delete these videos, but they're already the t-shirt one is on my channel. I've already gone over that entire video on stream, so it's on the internet forever. Yet lady saying Antifa yay when it was trendy is damnable. Of course, because this Smash this Smash right here isn't the real Smash. Smash puts on a facade for what he thinks is going to work for his channel. He's always done it, right? He constantly tried to push his videos at other content creators to get them to watch it. He went to Thank you. Thank you so much. So all of that, nobody heard. So anyways, I don't even know when I muted it. I probably tried to hit pause. Anyway, now that the old man's had his moment, Smash has like this Smash right here. This Smash. Well, here's the thing, Red Stain, when you talk about it, this Smash is not the real Smash. This is not SmashJT. This is the SmashJT that he thought was going to work for gaming, right? He specifically does things to try and get attention. He did it a lot when he was beginning. He had, he would go into communities and try and push his videos to the point that people would tell him to stop. He would at people like Bo Blacks who did Twitter verses to try and get his tweets and his videos on Twitter verses. He would, he did it so much in the commentary community that like Nicholas Diorio, one of the main guys of that RFC community, told him, hey, dude, it either happens naturally or it doesn't happen. Stop trying to push so hard. He will switch, as we've seen over and over again, for the idea of gaining clout. He is a true clout goblin, as you would say. So with that, we go to SmashJT Once You Dead. This recent video came out. I'm not going to watch it on stream, of a car trying to barrel through a bunch of the Palestinian demonstrators. You can feel however you want about this. I could give a shit about the protests in general. But what was SmashJT's thing? Arrested. They should have given him a medal. And then he later on says, people sitting in the streets should be arrested. How many times have I said this guy is not for the Constitution? He's not for freedom of speech. Now, there's an argument to be made about these people blocking roadways and things like that. I think with those protests, like I don't know where the law falls on that, especially under the Constitution. Peaceful protests can mean a lot of things. Is it a peaceful protest if you're blocking traffic? Potentially, but if the police were already there, the police might have already been directing traffic away from that one street. You could probably go a block down and get to the other one, or it's like one of, any number of things. You can't see much from the video. But being okay with anybody running over over people, period. Nah, that doesn't sit well with me. I could tell you what I would do in this situation, but it would probably get me banned. So let's find out who SmashJT was in the past. Clout Goblin 0, more like Butt Goblin. I really hate how much they just don't criticize each other, especially when they do this. Oh, 100%. Well, I mean, Grums is the perfect example. They'll lightly say, oh, Grums, we've called him out for the gaming, but they really haven't. There hasn't been any serious Grums call out. And he was and still is a problem with the industry. He was a problem in the AAA industry when he started his own company, when he was the founder of the Firefall bus. And, he had control. So he had control of Firefall. He was a lead dude in it. He was one of the founders, right? He was a founder of Firefall. God, it's been so long since I looked at this. It was his idea for the bus. Grum's backers are getting angrier and angrier, and I am all for it. They need to. So he showed what a failed dev was, what was wrong with the gaming industry, where they were wasting money on bullshit and saying games were expensive, where they were pushing into live service bullshit that nobody wanted in their games except for, the football, the sports players and gotcha games. That was all the huge pushbacks were in the gaming industry before this woke shit came around. And a lot of the companies that are dead and dying now died off of the backs of live services. Ubisoft is a good example I see people bring up all the time, but if you look at Ubisoft's history and everything they've done in the industry, they've done it to themselves. They are a trail of failed projects and mismanaged money. Ironic, he does the same practices. Yeah, it doesn't, it doesn't change much, the gotcha and stuff like that. Well, he wasn't talking about, Grums never got into that kind of live service fight. That wasn't his fight. His fight was trying to get in on the original Gamergate, and he did like one good thing, I think, or something like that people found good. I don't remember what it was exactly. You'd have to ask someone like McDizzle, who probably knows. But it was shit. This is a crazy statement. It was, yep, we're about to watch some more Smash. You know how this is going to go. The Gamergate 1 was where he started to make his name again. Because before that, everyone knew he was a laughingstock. The AAA industry knew he was a laughingstock. So, that's where that goes. Now, back to the topic, since I've gone off on a rant on that. Is this him being a shit face and calling Ian a scammer? Yes, this is that video you sent me. We're going to watch this one and maybe some of the other one too. Because I want you to get the idea of who SmashJT is. Now, I've watched this one. I haven't watched the full other one you sent me, Collective. We might watch some of that because I want to see what he says about Ian. I'm not going to get into the particulars of the Amico scam, right? But we are going to get into his what's the word for it? Having dyslexia and losing your mind is fucking terrible. His coping, I guess, is what we'll say. Ian Miles Chang. Yeah. His coping on this. So this video happens after it's pretty much come out that Amico is terrible. And everything else. It's pretty much been shown that Tommy is the shit scammer that he is, and it's been officially put out there, right? We're no longer fighting back and forth. Smash is going to admit that Ian Ferguson was right, and then completely shift. And he's done this multiple times, even up today, right?
It is the shirtless wonder here again. Got to live up to my name, right?
Oh, let me see what this is.
Yes, we got a conversation to have. And actually, this time it has not very much to do with Pat. It has to do with that other guy, Ian. Ian Ferguson, the second half, the lower tier on the CU podcast. I just want to bring up a few things that are, I don't know, a little bit of a contradictory here. And
hold on, I was.
So, okay, Pat and Ian were right about the Intellivision Amico.
I want you to remember this part as we get further into this.
And it kills me to say that because these guys are assholes.
These guys are mean, so it kills me to admit that they were right. And I was completely wrong, and I wasted 10 grand on this guy, but I got to ride around in his car, so am I really the dumbass?
Like, both of them equally in their own right. Complete assholes. But assholes can be right once in a while. You know, that's the annoying thing, but at least you got to accept the fact. When you're right, you're right. And you guys, you're right. The problem here is, though...
The problem here... That might as well be a but.
There's what is this? We're going on like a 3-month, 4-month victory lap here, where they constantly keep saying, this isn't even our victory lap. This isn't even our final form. All right, guys. Like, you're letting your cockiness get to you just a little bit. So I'm here to bring you back down to earth. Because fair is fair. Ian is extremely critical of Intellivision crowdfunding a console.
Yes, when was this? I'm trying to think of where crowdfunding was, because crowdfunding hasn't always had a positive outlook, especially when it comes to larger names and things like that, crowdfunding off of people, because there's so many that have turned into scams, especially around gaming. Even more so when you talk about MMOs. He looks like the typical Californian.
And making leaps that it was, we'll say, for lack of a better word, a way to take money out of people that don't know any better.
But you just said they were right. It was a way to take money out of people who didn't know any better.
To put into the pockets of Tommy Tellerico and other higher-ups over at Intellivision.
It was to put that into the pockets of Tommy Tellerico.
Fair? Fair.
He even says it's fair. Okay.
Then we have an interesting little thing that's transpired here. Brought up by Retro Bro, who reminded me of it, but I definitely saw it live and tried to bury it from my memory, but it happened. I believe 2017, January 2017, January 2018, something like that.
Dude, you got to be digging. You got to be digging for something to go back to try and find something on another guy.
Where Ian was out of work because of back issues.
Okay, yeah, that happens sometimes.
Whatever, I don't know. Because the GoFundMe page that he had has been closed. And
right,
with him taking nearly $30,000 from people wishing him well. And you know, here's the thing, like,
so his what he's pushing so far, as we'll go into this, is that Ian crowdfunded, so he shouldn't complain when Tommy crowdfunds and abuses that money. So you should, if you've crowdfunded, you should never complain about crowdfunding. You should never, ever do that. That's your take on it. Crowdfunding overall is bad if you hate crowdfunding. There's no legitimate reasons why you would crowdfund or do any of that to make money. If you do, you're a clout chaser that's just trying to get money out of people. I mean, that's kind of the idea of crowdfunding, I guess, is you need help with getting money from people because of things that happen to you. Things like lawsuits. Wait a minute. It's fucking gone, boys and girls. Holy shit. It's fucking gone. I'll show you. We're showing you on screen. Boom. There it is. Still pinned. Oh, maybe, okay. Maybe my shit was being fucked up. Okay. I understand. Okay. Woo! It was just giving me an error 4 message on his account. So you should never, ever crowdfund. Ever.
Has officially filed a lawsuit.
That is just, if you believe crowdfunding bad, you should never, ever do it. Oh man, someone gave him $1,000 max resist. Got him up to 73,000 17 days ago. I don't know whoever this max resist is. Before that, it was 1 month ago. He's not getting a lot of donations, so always good to check up on it. Holy fuck. That almost got me excited. I got a little excited right there. So yeah, this is just a complete, well, you crowdfunded.
Surface level? You do you, man. You're hurting.
Yes, minded this could have been avoided if he didn't make 60 plus videos on one woman, right? There's tons of people that have beef back and forth online that make videos on each other and things like that don't cause the mass amounts of harassment, the loss of job, the endless videos on somebody. That's a pretty common thing for people to beef online without all of this, right?
You got to ask for money from people? Okay, fair is fair. I just find it a little bit contradictory when you run your own GoFundMe account and campaign for being sick or hurt.
So people can't believe that someone like Tommy Tellerico crowdfunding what officially became a scam or is known as a scam. What's going on, Tired Kimoji? Is the same as someone who hurt their back and is out of work using the GoFundMe for what it was designed to be used for. People asking for money in hard times. Same thing. Absolutely the same thing.
So you say, we'll take your word for that.
This is also, let's get into Smash's demeanor on this. He's been found in the wrong, right? He has lightly admitted, he said in the beginning of the video, you guys were right about the Amico. Admitting that he was at fault, but then he still has to get a dig on them. He can't in any way just take the L. There has to be something bad about them. This is who SmashJT really is.
That and get nearly $30,000 for it. But then have the gall, the audacity, the fucking balls to go on the CU podcast and berate Tommy for doing a fundraising campaign.
Again, he's still defending Tommy in this whole situation, or he was still defending Tommy in this whole situation. He can't admit he was wrong. He can't admit that. He can't just admit that it was what it was. He has to still show that they're bad people. It's not me, guys. I'm not the bad guy in this. Look at the things they're still doing.
For the video game console. I'm struggling on where you draw the line ethically.
Probably from scams, right? Someone who gets their back hurt Yeah, or sick to the point that they can't work. Yeah, that's probably okay to crowdfund. I personally wouldn't. That's just me. Maybe lawsuits. I can see crowdfunding some lawsuits, depending on the size of the person, the funds of the person. Right? If you're a little guy getting sued by like a big guy, yeah, I can see crowdfunding there. When you're a couple 100,000 sub YouTuber who probably had it coming. I'm not I don't see why you're crowdfunding if you're making all this money. But I don't have a problem with it. Crowdfund. Go ahead. If you're coming out with something that already smells like a scam and you're crowdfunding for it, yeah, I think that's not something you should do.
Where it's okay for somebody at what point to do crowdfunding, but then for someone else, it's abhorrent. It's unethical, inhumane. You are a horrible snake oil salesman selling lies to people.
Well, yeah, he's not showing. If I remember, the crowdfunding came before anything else, so there was just an idea, which happens a lot in crowdfunding, but you should have at least put something together.
Okay, so what if the Intellivision was a lie from the get-go, and Tommy created the FIG campaign and the Republic campaign just to swindle my $10,000 from me and $17 million from other unknown.
You got a car ride though. You can't deny the car ride.
Is that different from people believing you that you're sick or hurt?
Because he didn't suddenly fly to Vegas off of the $30,000. Like this is just really bad luck. This is very familiar.
And raising 27.
Yeah, comparing it to a celebrity saying, no, we won't crowdfund for a video game console. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. He did say he wouldn't crowdfund for it, right? And then he crowdfunded.
Plus $1,000 for your own personal benefit. And here we are, years later. No residual effects from what we can see. No issue.
What are you supposed to see? He said he couldn't work. He needed a little bit of money. What was his goal? Was his goal the 30,000, or is that just what happened? You see where it's like, oh, well, we didn't see anything from what you did with the money. It's funny because Smash isn't showing his receipts for what he's been spending the money on that people have been giving him, asking for 2,000. Yeah, that's exactly the point I was getting to. Here we are, Jeff, asking for 200K, but then immediately flying out on vacation with your family. Like, are you really hurting for that money, or is it just that your fans are paying for it?
There's no problems. Everything's
he's virtue signaling.
And you got away scot-free with $27,000, dude. Now, I'm sure if you see this video, you'll have some random excuse to give yourself a defense. But end of the day, nah, man. You're no better than Tommy. It's literally exactly...
You're no better than Tommy. Tommy, he will defend the people he's close to a fault. It doesn't matter if they're a scammer that scammed probably over $1 million at this point from his backers. It doesn't matter if you are a complete degenerate. It doesn't matter if you're his friend. Even if you're wrong, he's going to defend you.
How you know Tommy is as bad of a person as he is, because it takes one to know one.
What a child fucking statement.
And on top of that, we have Ian spouting lies on his podcast with Pat.
Is he about to cry?
Well, just take a listen for yourself.
And called me poor.
Nope. Did not call you poor. Never happened. But I can see where that might have come in.
Oh, he's from... I love the California hate, Red Stain.
I never called you poor because I don't talk about you. I don't care about you, Ian. You're a fucking nobody. You're a dude that latches on to Pat, who latched on to angry video game nerd.
You hear the anger in that? Because at this point, Smash was a fucking nobody. No one knew who Smash was. The retro community did. Yeah, didn't care about you, makes a video, has a fucking meltdown.
Sorry, bro. That's not me.
He still does this today, but now he latched onto Grums. Now he's a bigger channel, and he does the whole thing where you're a nobody. You're small. If you saw the little comment he decided to make to me in a in a post back from April, didn't call you poor. Remember how he used to flex that GameStop stock? Oh yeah, he used to do that. There's so many things that it just shows that he's never been anything but this SmashJT.
Called you poor? It was something along those lines. Like,
Nope, it wasn't.
What was it? What is it? Show it.
Show me something where I said you're poor. Never said that. Well, actually, I should say you were begging for money when you were like hurt or something like that. Maybe I alluded to you trying to take money from people.
So now you're saying you did, right? He's now saying that he did do that. I might have alluded to it now. But you know, yeah, he sounds so triggered.
I don't recall ever saying you're poor though, but be that as it may, let's continue.
Like he was like insulting me. Shirtless Shill called you poor? It was along those lines for not knowing the difference between, I think, like a Lamborghini and a Ferrari or something.
Definitely not me. Because, to be honest, I'm not really sure of the difference between a Lamborghini and a Ferrari. So, nope, wrong again.
Something like that. Yeah, it was a touchstone moment for him.
A fucking touchstone moment for me. And you don't even have the right guy, dude.
Dude, bud.
Hey, man. What the hell? Like, what's that all about? A touchstone moment for me. You're trying so hard to shit on me. You guys are so cocky right now. This is the problem. You get so like cocky and confident that you're right about the Amico that you start taking leaps. This is a leap right here. And you get cocky and you get caught. Here.
Smash was found to be wrong in this comment.
Called out. Covered that in a live stream about a month ago. And, you know, I was just kind of let it go after that. But to see them keep leaning on Tommy and the team and just going at them every chance they get and still saying it's not their victory lap. It's just, it's too cocky for me to take. I gotta speak up and say something.
It's triggered. He has to say something.
Like, bro, you're literally just as bad. And maybe you're in a group of people that will never tell you that. They just pat you on the back because they want to be in with the cool guys. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I'll be straight up.
I will, Collective. I saw it.
You make up lies. You confuse people. You trash them. And you're not accountable for it. I guess that's really it. I don't have some wild revelation to discuss here. It's just kind of more putting Ian in his place. And Pat too, to a certain lesser extent. Just learn how to be humble a little.
Ooh.
Just
Ooh.
a little bit. Like, you can be right. You can be confident about it.
Oh, yeah. This is the thing. Like, you can be right. You just can't gloat over you being right. It has to be. It has to be you're humble. But if something happens with me, well, yeah, I get to gloat about it. Like if it would have gone, if the Amico would have come out and been a huge success, Smash would have been in the right to go at them and have victory lap after victory lap if they wanted to. But you know, when it's happening to Smash, we can't have that. Not at all. So I wanted to. So there's that, and right around the 3-minute mark here, I had something. I didn't want to watch this whole video. It's 46 minutes. And then I just got sent another one by Collective, or Scary Jersey Guy, as we like to call him. But this is him. This is something I found interesting that he pointed out to me that goes into his complaint and his victimhood around the Alyssa doxing him stuff, which I still argue to this day isn't true doxing, though I definitely disagree with what she did do in that situation. You can talk about how unhinged she was. Let's listen to what he says here.
Haters more energy and justified their hatred. It respond does not. I keep making YouTube videos, and that ironically is something that I always focus on. And I feel like it ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not, but whatever. So the people that responded to the video yesterday, they reached out to me saying, I shouldn't have posted it. It just gave the haters more energy and justified their hatred for me, empowered them, made them feel like they were right, and is going to increase it tenfold to me. And if I'm letting them get to me now, then it's going to destroy me in the long term. I don't care. Like, outside of the haters that keep doxing me and calling my job. And
what was that? I thought he got doxed recently. When was this video? 2 years ago he got doxed? So, by your own standards, like, you've already been doxed, so it's not a doxing by the legal terms, right? That's what you always throw at me, is the legal terms of doxing. My argument is SmashJT is a serial doxer. I don't care about the legal definition of it. That's someone who wants to cope that it's not immoral what Smash does when he posts people's full names and things like that. But yeah, he's actually kind of misrepresenting the Alyssa causing him so much hate that he says that he gets because she apparently doxed him, or someone else apparently doxed him. So that's interesting.
And trying to ruin my life and talk about where my kids go to school and talk about where my wife works and my wife.
So they've already talked about on the internet where his wife works. Like, I don't know. For someone doxed, they sure are cozy. Yeah, I get it. Gazing, holding on that us-them statement. It applies great for the next video. Ooh, I'm ready. I'm ready, Scary. Let's get over to that. So that I wanted to point out. This isn't the first time that Smash has brought up the doxing stuff for victimhood. My personal take on it is don't bring it up. Right? If someone makes a Kiwi Farm thread about you or something like that, don't fucking go do it on stream as a fake Christian Templar guy who gets kicked out of VTubers Discords. Whole different subject that I want to eventually get into. He keeps making gold. But it's a constant thing, this victimhood mentality. He's going to. There's no reason to put that in there, whatever this statement he is making back to them. We don't care about the haters. If you get death threats, ignore it. And if it's something credible, like an actual credible threat, then go to the police about it. No one gives a fuck on the internet. So with that, let's see what we got here. Is this? I think I know of this video. It's about the 30-minute mark. Boop, boop, boop. Let's go right there. Boom. Let's see what we got here.
Violence and sexual content and kids in sexual compromising positions and rape on the Nintendo. If that's what you want, then buy a Switch.
So when you do things like that, Rich, and you don't push back,
Yeah, I've seen this video.
Like an asshole, and that you don't have respect not only for your audience but for yourself, because you have to do a decent job, and you can't let someone use you for an infomercial, which is what happened. That's what happened. And it's just sad. And so he will never be able to address those things. So he makes jokes about gay sex, and he goes after people's friends and things like that.
You're a fucking loser. Like, there's no other better way to describe it. You two are fucking losers.
And no, Jay,
yeah,
I didn't stop talking to you because or Ian didn't stop talking because I told him to. I think he has.
I didn't fucking block you. You blocked me. Some shit went south, and I had chatted back and forth with you, and one day I was blocked. So I don't know, man.
All right, and last but not least,
worthless
is SmashJT, Jeff Tarzia. Jeff,
here we go
for us. He's done about 8 to 10 videos about us. See you, Fraudcast. Pat.
Oh, with that Amico shirt on too. That shirt didn't age well at all.
Pat the NES Punk is a fraud. I think he took that one down. And Jeff is a person that always was clout chasing for attention. One of those people that think, I'll attack someone, we'll make up, and then we'll work together.
This is what I was talking about earlier when I said these people live in a fantasy land.
Yeah.
Ambulance chasers.
A statement that I've already heard.
They're ambulance chasers, and Jeff especially. You sniff out the fucking drama wherever you can find it in a dump. You rush after it. You put out a video without thinking. You say a bunch of bullshit. That person gets mad. I've seen this happen many times.
So it's funny because that's like a word for word breakdown of what he does for gaming journalism. He just says stuff that he thinks, well, now it's almost like he's perfected it a little bit, the pattern a little bit, as you would say, that he now looks for the games that he thinks he can start weakening because he's a bigger YouTuber now. So he thinks he can just say stuff like female gamers or anything like that. John Delarose had his falling out with Smash and Yorch. Yeah, but John Delarose on his side there was a falling out with the Christian side of anti-woke, because the Christians have a very different view of that of gaming than, say, the more goonery side or the more middle of the road anti-wokes like Smash.
You two make videos about each other. That brings your views up. Then you guys shake hands, and there you go.
Fair play, right?
Right. That's how you think it is. Except Jeff, because I know you really are talking lately about wanting an apology. It's barely been a year since you made fun of me for being sick and said I was a scam artist. Forgive me for being...
Oh, so he even made fun of him beforehand, and now you see what they're doing here? Mark needs to take a look at this video. They're showing at least pictures. I'm hoping they play something, but they're at least showing something. I can go try and look this up now, right?
Being sick with no money in America. That never happens, right? And
there's 2 YouTube links that I can go look at.
I didn't put out that GoFundMe on my own. I did it because people kept asking. You think you're going to get you're going to get forgiveness? That you're going to apologize?
Goonergate, yeah, Goonergate versus Christian
for that.
Anti-woke.
He's tried to apologize for you. But no. Jeff, there's no coming back from that. That's not a thing that people just fucking sweep under the rug. There are real repercussions for the fucking bullshit you say.
Yeah.
And again, like I said about Rich and Hooft, you're going to find yourself very fucking alone, Jeff. Because you're burning all your fucking bridges.
Well, he found himself alone in the retro community, but now he's got all the friends that'll kiss his ass all day long, regardless of views and everything else, or what's actually correct.
So there is no rebuilding when you're a piece of shit like you are.
This stank will follow Jeff to the ends of the earth, at least on YouTube. There's no rehab from this. So
this is true.
His response to my Amico video was filled with lies, was filled with like, oh, it was entertaining, but I saw through Tommy's bullshit. No, you didn't, Jeff. You absolutely didn't. So either you're lying or you're stupid. That's one or the other when it comes to this. So, for example,
I've always said this, and I lean towards stupid.
Example, he said in his video he thought Tommy and him could have a mutually beneficial relationship and would help his channel. This is a person
mutually beneficial. No, it would have been one-way beneficial.
He said, Amico gave my channel attention, and that's one of the reasons I ran with it. You ran with something that you originally, Jeff, on your channel said was a bad idea. His first video echoed ours.
Yeah, I know.
We had similar thoughts, Jeff. We both thought this was a bad idea. But what happened?
You realized he could turn it into us versus them.
Jeff found salvation in the anti-woke community. That he did. And listen to this. Smash having a different take than he does later. He didn't look for, he made a video, which I would like to see this video. I'm sure it's been taken down. See us versus them. These guys are a little soy on the way they say it because they're going, the us versus them from him. Like, I get it. Drama is... Most people don't like drama on the internet. I personally do like drama on the internet, but a little off course there. Yeah, it's he did it for the clout. Whether it was us versus them, I think he did think that would be beneficial, but I think he just thought having Tommy Tellerico on his side would get him the clout.
That was part of it, but you thought Tommy and you could be like partners on the path to fame. How misguided is that? The Tommy Tallarico just the gaze of Tommy's face just transforms people into mush, and I can't think anymore. So you lied in your video saying you were not on board with crowdfunding, but crowdfunding was the very first thing they did, Jeff, in early 2020 with the Founders Editions. That was crowdfunding. They got people's money for pre-orders. That was the very fucking first thing that happened, Jeff.
People do love internet gossip.
That's a lie.
We love ourselves some internet slop here, don't we, Kamoji?
You left a comment on the last crowdfunding attempt, Start Engine. That's gone. But you left a comment, Jeff, after you knew this was scammy as fuck, after you knew this was turning south. You left a comment saying, "I believe in the team." I'm paraphrasing. This was your Republic quote, which was probably similar. "I invested because I believe in the team at Intellivision. I have personally met with the creators and played this console hands-on. I can confirm there is a potential very bright future for this device. Great couch co-op games with a truly unique controller makes for a very special gaming experience." So I don't know if that was the exact quote on Start Engine, but I remember seeing you put down a comment there. And that was after we had covered the SEC bullshit, after we knew this company was dead in the water, and you were still doing Tommy Tallarico's bidding as an accomplice to a scam at that point. You knew it was going down, and so your comment could have contributed to someone putting in more money, and thank God Start Engine shut down that campaign. But that's the type of person you are. You will triple and quadruple down and not admit that you are a sorry-ass human being.
Oh, isn't that what I just said?
There's clearly no return that you suddenly flip and be like, well, I knew.
There was never an apology. What you said in your videos that I know about, first of all, I have you blocked on Twitter. You said in your you said in your Twitter comment, what the hell did he fucking say in this? That was ridiculous. He said, Pat, you have me blocked. I've made many ignored attempts to reach you. I never got an email. I don't have you blocked on Facebook. I'm not blocked. Discord, you can try to hit me up. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. Send me a fucking snail mail letter. I don't know what you're talking about, Jeff.
Meanwhile, I rarely block people. I do have all these people blocked at this
Jesus.
point. I don't need to know what I'm up to.
But then he lies and says, I made videos apologizing for how I handled the Intellivision Amico. I don't give a shit, Jeff, how you handled the Amico. I care about shit you said about me and Ian. An apology is, I apologize. I'm talking like you're four. I apologize, Pat and Ian, for saying these things about you, that you were a fraud, that you faked your medical issues.
So desperate for fucking attention, you really went after someone's medical.
Jesus. Yeah, they're angry.
Isn't Pat and Ian were right about the Amico? That's not an apology. That's just saying we were right about a situation. That's stating facts. You are a child, Jeff. You have to be accountable.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff and a lot of these other content creators that were around this tried to run these guys through the mud for Tommy. It was like pretty, I've watched some of the stuff on it. It was pretty, what's the word, diabolical? I don't want to say disgusting, but it was definitely not dealing with facts. It was more trying to talk down these two guys that were the standing force, that were putting out stuff saying there's something wrong with this, and they were just absolutely relentlessly attacked. Sound familiar? Sound familiar to things that we know about Jeff in this day and age, where if someone says something, they'll run a smear campaign, they'll instantly go after you, they'll all make videos on you. It's all real familiar to me.
Accountable at some point for your behavior. So yeah, he wants to make amends. And so this is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, because he put out another tweet when he was
character assassination is probably a better word,
saying, hey Pat, let's meet up for a fucking beer. You dragged your wife into this. You took a selfie.
Also, something very familiar to what we see is Smash has to make himself feel better. So what does he do? He takes a picture with his wife. Look how happy I am. Look how great my life is. It doesn't matter. I wasted $10 million, or not 10 million, $10,000 on a scam. I'm living the life.
Selfie with her and tweeted it. It's despicable because, first of all,
he uses her as a shield is what he does. Because then he can go and say, see how they're just hating on me and my life. No, bud, use your family as a shield to go against criticism. Every single time I see you getting backlash, including today, like your comments on some of the stuff you were saying was absolutely getting fucking dunked on in almost every tweet you fucking made. You then posted a few hours later a picture of you and your wife having a great time. It's absolute loser behavior. I agree, Red Stain. You just have to show it's Facebook, fucking Instagram posting where look how great my life is, this and that. He might as well have stood next to a fucking sports car and took a picture with himself saying like, follow my fucking course and I can show you how to drive this car.
You don't know if I'm a psychopath or if I'm going to confront you with your wife there. Second of all, I doubt you told your wife when you were taking that selfie, hey, I'm going to tweet at a guy that has a very reasonable
Tommy's Ferrari, yes.
Upset at me for how he's talked about him and his friend.
Yeah, way to use her as a shield, you fucking coward.
Oh shit! I didn't pre-watch. I've watched this before a long time ago. I didn't know about the shield. I don't remember the shield comment.
Ridiculous. So it's
these
like,
people are insane.
Do you not know how social interaction works and how when you say things?
No, they clearly don't. They think it's all TV.
It's all a game.
It's all a game.
It's not a game, Jeff. You don't come back from this. There's no happy ending. You don't get to write your own little happy ending when it comes to this. You were an accomplice to a scam with Tommy Tallarico, and you thought you'd get rich on it. You
love it.
Money. I don't even blame you for throwing in $10,000. If you think you're gonna make your money back, that's fine. But you doubled, tripled down. You did his bidding. You did multiple attack videos on us, and I actually pity you in a way because I can't picture
multiple attack videos. You see how that works? When he thinks it's going to benefit him, when someone gets a lot of views and he can make money off of it, he will continue to make videos on them. He will push it. He will do whoever's bidding that he is above. I guess Grums now.
Acting that way.
I don't. They deserve all the loneliness and misery that's coming to them at this point. They don't want to fix themselves. They don't want, like I said, they don't want to make themselves better. They don't want to be happy people. They'd rather just be miserable and talk about fucking drama all day.
Yeah.
It makes them feel better about their lonely, meaningless existence.
I disagree with that statement. So we'll go in there on that statement. There's nothing wrong with talking about slop and drama. If you get enjoyment out of it, you get enjoyment out of it. You don't have to have a lonely existence to enjoy drama online.
Literally said you made multiple videos.
Now, obviously, they're talking from the perspective of SmashJT defending, there's drama and then there's being a piece of shit. Absolutely agree. They're talking from the perspective of Tommy Tallarico sending his goon squad of YouTubers after people who were talking negatively about Amico, even when signs of it were coming out that it was a scam.
Apologizing to Patney, and you did not. You never said, I'm sorry. And you know what? You know what someone has said about that too? It's not about
I get entertainment from it.
Making a video, because we might even find out about it. How about you personally reach out? When Gamester81...
Yeah, making a video that you're going to put ads on, and monetize for...
I don't care about that.
Eat shit.
When Gamester81 made his video attacking me after the Coleco Chameleon thing blew up, he at least was a man and personally called me and reached out and spoke to me, and we hashed it out. The video was a terrible idea, but at least he actually apologized. That's what an apology is, Jeff.
That's what people do when they realize they made mistakes.
This isn't like, I'm going to see you, we're going to have a laugh about it. Ian's going to see you and have a laugh about it. That's not how these things work with real adults.
But again, I don't think he's actually sorry, and I don't think he really considers it a mistake. This is part of the MO. This is part of the fucking drama YouTuber circuit. They try to pull you in.
Absolutely. And so maybe that's where we end it. This is who these people are.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that you let Tommy Tallarico take advantage.
It's funny because, what is this, Review Tech USA? They beef with him all the time just for clicks and views here lately. Him and 8-Bit Eric. Yep, that's right. This is Nice Guy Jeff. This is who Jeff really is. The man we just looked at today is who Jeff is. It's who he will always be. The current iteration of him going through his, what do they call it, Sephiroth posting, his arc where he is just trying to make the most heinous or shock value tweets he can, is just another side of that. He doesn't care about any of these issues. He doesn't care about if people like Palestine or hate Palestine. He doesn't care about Israel or any of that. He is using these videos for it. Like I am to the point now that I think I can make a decision that I think SmashJT is a grifter. He's the second one I've added to my list of people who think they're grifters. And you look at his history, it's plainly clear he does the same tactics over and over again. So that's pretty much my Jeff rant for the day. We'll get that clipped up. I can't wait for Dark Woke Jeff in 2 years. What is Iblin? Did you just say that wrong? Or is that some anime thing? Nope, he must have said something wrong. I don't know what that is. Or it's a in 2 years. That's what I thought. I thought you had something else. But yeah, I agree. Dark Woke soon. And it's And yeah, we got the woke Jeff, we got the BLM blackout Jeff, we've gotten the scammer Jeff, and now we got the anti-woke Jeff. Now we're getting into Sephiroth Jeff, and hopefully soon dark woke Jeff. I guarantee you, if the tides completely turned on the anti-woke, like if it went belly up, he would completely change face on it, or he would try to weasel his way into a different gaming community, which would be a lot harder to do now that he's big, because everyone knows who he is, and a lot of these communities just don't want anything to do with the anti-woke or the culture war side of gaming. They just want games that are good and to fight about consoles still. But with that, we're going to move on to our next subject. Is this not? Oh, I know what happened. I'll fix that later. Boop.
People are saying that.
Oh, Jeff, you're silly boy. Let's move on to another favorite anti-woker of mine. One who has me blocked, but I can still get on his nerves every now and again, at least enough for him to make a message about it behind a block, a post or at least comment on somebody's post. And that is, well, I already said it, Endymion. I'm getting tired. So earlier today, he posted this tweet. Assassin's Creed Shadows sells less than even Mirage, despite having a massively higher budget. Places like Circana, I forget, it's Circana and IGN reported when Shadow's release that it was a mega hit. The websites ran defense. Even Twitter people tried to say, look at the Chuds lost. Then reality settled in. The Chuds won again. Like usual, stop attacking your customers. It doesn't work. These guys aren't the customers. Not even your Yakuza could stand up to regular players. You're not a regular player. So this is the one he said. Of course, they never put the articles on there, and there's a reason for that, right? I didn't look up this one. I bet you I should. Rebecca Valentine. Let me see who she. Rebecca. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. It's because boop. There we go. There we go. Actually, I need to do this one. This one should work out a little bit better. X. And we'll switch back over in a minute. Endymion. Oh, I changed up some of my stuff, so we got to adjust here a little bit. Shrink you down. Yeah. Endymion is always getting it to beef. If it's not Neru or Keith, it's you. I know, and I'm like the tiny bitch in the room. I always find it funny to me, and maybe I'm just completely off base with this, but I'll say something and get like my measly 100 likes or whatever on it. But then an anti-woker like Jeff or Gay Viper or something like that will basically say exactly what I said in my post, but without saying my name. It's always been kind of funny to me. So yeah, this is the chick I'm looking up. I don't know who Rebecca, because there's a reason that they don't show the article names, because it's usually not what they're talking about. Yeah, okay, she's IGN. Rebecca Valentine, IGN. Gotcha. Was the best-selling game in the US for March. That was true, right? The numbers were kind of like in there for that. Not a lot of games came out in March, if I remember right. But yeah, it was. Then we get to this one right here. This one's the one that I want to focus on, because this article I've already talked about online. I want you to notice the name Shahir Zaid. This comes from Tech4Gamers. Creed. I should have had this pulled up, but I didn't. Is the lowest selling game across last 5 entries. All right. What comes up with this is usually a bunch of tiny articles, companies that don't make good videos. So here it is. One thing I want to talk about first is, who are Tech4Gamers? Well, let's take a look. Reviews, guides, wiki tools. Let's go here. Open new link. Where are your about me, guys? Forums. There's your pages. Tools, hands-on reviews, guides. All right, meet our team. Tech4Gamers. Let's switch back to the other one. Boop, boop. There we go. Now this little gem down here. Is this the one? Nope. Where does it say? They talk about a lot of stuff of like 50 years of experience, of combined experience in the industry. It's not really a lot. Where's the about us? About us. There we go. Our mission, our vision, our history. Where was it? Did they already change it? Ah, here it is. Our vision. So, being the headquarters quartered globally and in Pakistan, more than likely it's just in Pakistan, has been a premier website for over a decade in technology and gaming. Driven by a dedicated team working year-round, our passion for excellence propels us forward with the unified aim. We aspire to be amongst the best global tech websites by 2030. If you look at this company and you start going through all of their reviews and things like that, where is it? This is the same company that they used to say that gaming journalism was woke. Not too long ago. Let's go to news and see if we can find it. Ghosts. They're about saying they got featured on all the outlets the anti-wokers hate. Yeah. Well, this news site, Tech4Gamers, has used SmashJT as evidence for one of their articles. It's EI. Dyslexia. Never heard of Tech4Gamers? There's a reason for that, because it's a small overseas company that just copy and pastes other articles. In fact, if you look at their track record, pretty much 3 days after something comes out on Reddit or a smaller gaming studio, they put a video or they make an article about it. I still can't forget how they wanted McDizzle to get punished for tricking Smash, pretending they care about that Ubisoft employee. Yeah, 100%. When it was probably the vast majority of their people that were going in and harassing that guy. Let's see if we can find it. I know it's still up. It's just a matter of finding it. Promises hundreds of hours of fun. Sold over fastest selling game. Is this it? Yes, this is it. So this article was used by Endymion, in fact. One of my other videos, which if you haven't watched, if you want to watch some more of the old streams and stuff like that, I have gone over this very article that Endymion used to say, hey, bro, they're getting their evidence from a post on X. So keep this in mind. He has already discredited this news service for telling lies about the gaming industry based off of an X post. What the heck? All right. So let's go to the top of this article that he is praising. Nope, there it is. Assassin's Creed is the lowest selling game release across the last 5 entries. Ubisoft has a lot riding on Assassin's Creed Shadows, but unfortunately, not even the long-demanded Japanese setting could rescue the publisher from the quicksand that is quickly sinking into. So this is a lot different than what they said previously. So, excuse me 1 second. Why it matters. Assassin's Creed was an incomplete entry and lacked many features at launch. Did it? Moreover, the controversies, okay, was it incomplete? I don't remember that ever being part of the conversation. Moreover, the controversies and some inaccurate depictions of feudal Japan setting didn't help with the gamers' PR as well. As such, it makes sense that their sales are so low. So let's look at the controversy. Oh, look, it's another one of their articles. While the game's launch has been better than analysts expected. What is this? Oh, look, it's another one of their articles. Let's see what happens if I do this one. Oh, look, it's another one of their articles. So let's see how many of these have actual evidence to them as we go through this. Spoiler alert, not many of them at all. Boom, boom, boom. So Japan setting didn't go over well with PR helping as well. As such, it makes sense that their sales were low. Yeah, there was a lot of PR problems with that. I can agree with Assassin's Creed Shadow. They shot themselves in the foot quite a bit, or Ubisoft shot themselves in the foot quite a bit with a lot of the stuff that they did with the game. Like there was things you could have, like the anti-woke blew up some of it, but there were things you could say, hey, that was probably a shit move, right? The thing I can think of most is that archway, that the standing archways from after the bombs were dropped and having the assassin standing on it as a little model. That was probably a bad move. Assassin's Creed Shadow reached 3 million players in just a week. Let's see where this goes. Their article, which is also a tweet. Second highest selling revenue in this many cycles. I mean, Ubisoft has said it's the second highest in franchise history. Biggest Ubisoft day one ever on PlayStation. Best community ever with over 40 million hours already played. However, total sales are at 4.3 million 6 months after launch. Boom. This one, so far, is the only one that actually has information, because this is Alina, which is someone who Endymion already misrepresented and, beefed with other people over. After 7 months on the market, so they were already wrong, they say 7 months, Assassin's Creed Shadows has sold less on PlayStation 5, 2.4 million, than Ghosts of the Oida did on PS5. I even missed that. So 2.4 million on PS5 than Ghosts of Yote did 2.5 million in under 3 weeks. Showing that this samurai showdown is just about to be settled. This is more talking about Ghosts of Yotai and things like that. Across all platforms, Shadows performed well in isolation, selling just over 4.3 million copies per our estimates, with 56% on PS5, 26% on Xbox, and 18% on Steam. However, context matters here. Thank you. Ubisoft needed a breakout hit. I argue that even a breakout hit wouldn't have fixed the problems they were in. To reinvigorate its core franchise, well, maybe to reinvigorate the core franchise, Shadows has instead had a lukewarm sales performance shortly after Ubisoft announces putting all of its eggs into Assassin's Creed and Far Cry. Ditch the open. Yeah, they've been needing to ditch the open world formula for a while. I've joked around saying that Ubisoft only makes one game and it's different everywhere they go. It's either first person open world game or third person open world game. And then it starts to go into Ghosts of Yotai and things like that. Why is it outperforming? Our players estimate the show that Ghosts of Yotai. And what's funny about this article is this is saying how well Ghosts of Yotai is doing compared to, which is another game that they have been pushing, is a flop. Yeah, and stop saying dumb stuff like gamers not owning their games. Well, Ubisoft also, if most people don't know, that they shadow dropped an NFT game that they would put a lot of money into, or I assume they put a lot of money into. What else did we have? We had Black Flag was in development hell, and they had to like put that game out. They knew they've been trying to build a live service, just like if you point at any of the dead companies that are out there that the anti-woke go after, you can point towards the live service that killed them. They've been in their death throw for years. The crew got pulled. Yep. I mean, there's 100 things you can count to where Ubisoft has flopped over and over and over again and spent tons of money. Like, I'll bet even with Black Flag starting to see some success now, they haven't earned anywhere near the amount of money that they spent or took from businesses. What company was it that Ubisoft? Overmed for Black Skull and Bones. I want to say it was either Singapore or someone like that they had made like a deal with because Singapore thought it would reinvigorate, whatever. I might be wrong on the exact country, but I know that that's part of the reason that the game got put out, even though it was nowhere near the state that gamers wanted for it. Failed live service, essentially. Like, I don't think if both Star Wars Outlaws and Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows had outperformed, that they wouldn't have had to sign the Tencent deal. The price would have been different. Like, maybe Tencent would have bought less of the company because it would have been worth more. But yeah, DEI didn't kill it. Greed killed it. BioWare is another one they like to talk about. But when did all of the main devs, the veterans of BioWare, leave? Immediately after the launch of oh god, fuck, why can't I remember its name? I never remember that fucking game's name. I played it for like a couple of hours. Anthem. Immediately after Anthem. And there was so much controversy around them making a live service game. Like I said, most of these companies you can look back on, live service is what killed them. The woke shit is just death throes at this point. BioWare has been hell since Jaded Empire and KOTOR 2 era. Yeah, I disagree. I still enjoy some of the stuff that they made for, like, even during Mass Effect and Dragon Age. While there were problems, I still enjoyed the storytelling of all of that. But yeah, you could start to say you saw problems. Once Anthem came out, they were pretty much dead in the water. I don't think any of the devs wanted to make that game. So this is the only piece of evidence so far, which doesn't even say that the game was a bomb. It says it was lukewarm. Like, it also doesn't mention cost. So I want you to make notice, because this is the statement that Indy posted, right? Which is allegedly between 250 million and 300 million that went into the game development and marketing. Why isn't there a link here? Where is this coming from? So now we get to, what the fuck was that? Holy shit. That fucking freaked me out. The woke shit is stupid. Maybe bad sales are occurring lately because the economy is in the toilet. Probably the worst it's been in 10 years. Well, yeah, I mean, you have a lot of things happening. And even then, it's I've been talking about bloated gaming companies for years, that they keep hiring more and more people to make these games, and it's killing the creativity. They're not taking risks. They're bloated with so many people that no one knows what's going on in the game. And that's all been a part of it. And we're seeing that consequences now as companies strip off all of that excess fat. I mean, it sucks for those people that got into that. You can feel bad for them, but that's still on the company's fault for trying to get the endless growth that they, especially after COVID, they saw, or during COVID that they saw. So in the span of 3 months, Assassin's Creed Mirage, 3 months, not 3 weeks, sold 5 million and performed better than Shadows despite a spin-off release. Assassin's Creed release, I mean, yeah, it did. I'm guessing if it did 5 million, it did better than the 4.3 in 6 months. Sure. Was the 4.3 6 million? But one thing I'm going to take into consideration about this is the site that used the AI X account as a source. Yeah, this is the site that used the AI X account as a source. I might have already deleted it. Yeah, I think I already took it. Oh, there it is. It's the exact same one that we talked about on stream not too long ago, that he used as the reason that the game's journalism was still lying. So he's using the same company that is lying here, as he said, to push this narrative here as being true. So this is what gets interesting here, right? Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey combined have 80 million players, while Valhalla has over 20 million players in just 2 years. Valhalla was their biggest selling game during COVID. Of course it did. So let's see this 80 million, which, look at that, goes to another one of their articles where they posted a tweet. It's weird. They cut this tweet off here. I wonder why. Because this is from April 17th, 2025. So they're using Assassin's Creed Origin and Assassin's Creed Odyssey's 40 million players each since 2025 as an excuse, saying that it's performing worse, or that Shadows is performing worse. This is absolutely retarded argumentation here. This is a terrible source. You're just trying to use bigger numbers to get somebody like Endymion to soy out. I personally think this is an anti-woke plant. It's noteworthy that players doesn't directly translate into copies sold. Sure. The actual sales numbers are likely lower. These figures include users who have played the game via Ubisoft Plus and Game Pass. Here's the thing with this statement right here. Yes, Game Pass is a fucking wreck. Game Pass is a fucking wreck. Ubisoft Plus is a fucking wreck, but they didn't make money off of that. And you have to wonder, how much money did they make in comparison to be able to justify it? The problem is we'll never see those numbers. So their own article. Let's go back here. Even 10 million sales. Oh wait, where were we? And then it does 20 million for Valhalla in just 2 years. Let's see if that's correct. This one actually goes to the site. Yeah, so about 2 years they got to 20 million. You also got to remember, this is their biggest selling game. This is the COVID baby. This game sold like no tomorrow, and they wanted to turn this game into a live service single player game, even though no one wants to live service fucking single player. So they're using the success of the COVID game. Jesus Christ. And 2 games that took to 2025 to sell 40 million apiece as a reason why Assassin's Creed Shadows is worse than 5 entries. You could argue here, like if where was it? If Mirage sold better, you could argue that here. They didn't like the sales of Mirage. They wanted more, but they also didn't expect it to outperform Shadows, right? They wanted Shadows to outperform on things like that. So this could be true. The problem I have with this is this definitely tells me this is bold, trust me, bro number. So let's look it up to make sure that this is right. Manny. Did they have the clip down here? No, it's just more Ghost of Yoida. You know, it's a funny thing that I just fucking noticed. Where is it? Hold on. I just fucking noticed this. Get rid of this. It's on here. They've been using players since 2022 at the very least. So the whole using players over copies argument completely starts to fall through when it's been a pattern for the past 3 years for them. Here's the other thing they talk about, how well it sold 4 million in the first week, not it sold 2.5 million the third week. That's a drop. It's dying, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it gets that way. 6.5 million people aren't going to buy it twice. True. But yeah, they've done players. Did they do Assassin's Creed Mirage? Boop. Oh, God. Did AC Shadows... God, a lot of these fucking article places just use YouTubers as their news. When was this article? I've got an article here. This one looks like a shit company too. That says it sold 5 million. According to Insider Gaming. Okay. The game has accumulated 5 million players. Not sold 5 million copies. So it's the same. $250 million in revenue. Over 5 million players. This is the distinction that they make. Where here, it clearly said sold 5 million. They don't say players or they say copies, so they're trying to be objective, or they're trying to be vague with it while not linking an article. So if it had 5 million players, that doesn't mean it sold 5 million copies, right? Ghost of Yoida, 2.5 million. On the market, has sold less. Trying to see here. Yeah, I mean, this says they sold 4.3 million. So is it correct? Here's the real question. What is their intent behind giving these numbers out in videos, saying the game is bad because sales flopped? Yeah, that's kind of what they go for. They're trying to say woke is killing games. Here's the games that are dying because of woke. Here's why they're woke, woman. Or, you know, whatever. Here's proof that the game's failing from an article that they say lies about gaming. Ubisoft had a long ride, controversies. And then they're using like this 20 million players over just 2 years. Lowest sales, controversy. So, okay. Here's another anything to push the woke argument. Exactly. It's got to push the narrative. This thing will be a lying article one moment for gaming, and then a bastion of truth the next. So listen to what they say here. Initially, Assassin's Creed Shadow reaches 3 million players in just a week. However, total sales are 4.3 million 6 months after launch. How many players? You're convincing 3 million players to 4.3 million sales. Do you see how you're twisting the numbers? Do you see how that's not truthful? How many millions of players did they have at 6 months? Because the game was on Game Pass, right? Or was it Ubisoft Plus? It was on Ubisoft Plus. It was on PlayStation. And it wasn't on PlayStation. And it was on Game Pass, I'm pretty sure. Game Pass, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, because Ubisoft and Microsoft have kind of a deal where the games are on there. So, where are the player counts? Why are you comparing sales to players? And then down here, you're comparing Mirage's sold to their sold. So this could be correct. Only you're giving me no proof because when I look up this information, it's players. Did it sell more copies? Let's see if I can find total copies sold. I know this is probably boring stuff, but I like looking into it. Some games just need small audiences to be successful. Yeah, sometimes you just need to find your niche. Assuming the studios don't get gutted by greedy suits. Yeah. Sold of Assassin's Creed Mirage. It probably won't tell me because it probably wasn't a hot topic there. Assassin's Creed, big success. This looks like. Thank you for joining us in Bozim Journey in the 9th century Baghdad. We're thrilled for the community. They didn't say. They didn't say sales here. So let's go back. Hold on, I'll put this up so y'all can see, y'all aren't just looking at the staring screen. So there's this article that I found, Gaming Deputy. Assassin's Creed Mirage. Let's see if we can find. I don't see copies sold. So at a brief glance, the only thing I've seen is players, which we don't know the players right now, 3 months after, right? They haven't said anything about how many players are playing after 3 months. 3 million players. Jesus fucking Christ, this place. All right. Fuck me. So they're just misinterpreting the information. You notice how they put players down here too and didn't put players here? That's for a reason. Its current place won't be able to surpass all the previous entries, even within the same time frame. While Ubisoft hasn't confirmed the budget of the Assassin's Creed Shadows, they did state that the amount was upwards of the ghost wants to escape the machine. Yeah, apparently. Let's close a lot of these extra garbage stuff. upwards of 16. Why it matters, says French publisher. Apparent blockbuster of the year failed to save the French publisher from the deep financial hole. Yeah, that was what? A minimum of 16? Where does he say that? However, the most interesting aspect was the revelation was that Ubisoft posted a deficit of 82.6 million for financial year from April 2023 to March 2025. This implies that Assassin's Creed Shadow wasn't a major success in saving Ubisoft. Yeah, that's definitely not a determinant, because there was also Shadows, or not Shadows, Star Wars in that time, right? Or am I just completely getting that wrong? Here's another game that kind of flopped, didn't do well, didn't sold as well, except a multitude of reveals for Ubisoft soon, including, so just more. Trust me, bro. Does this actually? Oh yeah, this is the financial statements. I've read these before. So they're just blankly saying that this number proves that the game wasn't a success, even though in this entire thing it talks about it being the second selling game out there. So let's finish up this article here. Following the subpar performance, Ubisoft and Tencent have formed a new subsidiary, Vanguard Studios, which will lead big IPs from the French publisher, including Assassin's Creed. Yep, I'm arguing that deal was already in place before Shadows launched. They were waiting for Shadows to launch to decide how much money Shadows was worth, or Assassin's Creed was worth. That's my theory anyway. Perhaps the franchise will experience success with this new partnership. Maybe. We'll see. Smaller studio could change the realm of it. Tencent being involved? No, I don't think that's going to be a good thing. More about Assassin's Creed Shadows, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, this entire article is just full of bad information twisted to make it sound like it. And 116 million. Where is this saying that it's $250,000 to $350,000? It doesn't exist. Indie is full of shit here. And of course, I can't say anything. Of course, you have to go with like his own statements here. 3 million players. However, total sales are 4.3 million 6 months after launch. Sure. But this is sales. This is players. 6 months after launch, they could have 6 million players, right? That seems to be what Ubisoft measures its games by. They've been doing players since 2022, so it's not a new thing that they come out and do. Considering the budget, which is allegedly between 250 million, 350 million. Where is this article from? Of course, he doesn't cite it, right? That's on purpose. Yeah, that's on purpose. He doesn't show where this comes from because it's probably this same company that he has lied about before. So there it is. Good old Indie using the same studio that he says is what is lying about journalism to push the narrative that he is that this game failed for some reason. Do I think it was a breakout success? No. Is Ubisoft still making the same slop that they've always been making? Yes. Is Tencent going to fix it? Probably not. and arguably, I don't know that Tencent wants to fix it. I think they want Ubisoft to keep going into the ground so they can buy them out because because China wants to buy out more of the Western gaming industry. They want to take that market. And we don't want that. People think they want that. You don't want government-controlled companies making Western games. I'm sorry. You have to be a moron to think that. That goes for the Middle Eastern ones too. But that's it. That's all I've got for today. I will be back tomorrow with some more slop, some more interesting information. As always, if you like the video, like it. Give me a like, give me a subscribe if you enjoyed yourself and you want to see more, and hit that bell. And if you've got any information, you want to give me any more stuff, you can reach out to me on Twitter like some people do. You can also go into my Discord. It's in the well, I've got to re-put it in the video description, but it'll be down in the video description probably here in a minute. You know, there's an area there called Feed the Pig. Put anything you want me to watch in there. I don't just watch only anti-woke stuff. I get into a lot of different weird gaming commentary things and other weird subjects. So thank you all for coming by, guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and I will see y'all tomorrow night.